Alrighty, we're recording. All right, so welcome everyone. This is the June 28th, 2018 Helm Dev Call. So today we'll start with announcements, and then we'll go into stand-ups, any kind of discussion items, and then we'll finish off with some assignments for the next week. So to start off, Adam, I think you've posted something on the announcements list.
Yeah, just that the release for 2.10 RC1 was cut. So go ahead and start your testing.
All right, thank you. And I posted it earlier, but I'll post it here again because that was prior to the recording. But here is the link to all the changes that happened between version 2.9.1 and 2.10 release candidate. So with that, let's jump into stand-ups. Justin, do you want to go?
Sure. I did some issue triage. I actually got stuck on the CRD issue, so I thought we had solved that with the pre-install hook, because I don't know if that's the case, but someone had an issue with pre-installing a CRD, and then I went and tried to replicate it, and I couldn't get it to work either. So I didn't get to spend a lot of time on it. Yeah, I've just done some issue triage. That was it. Adam? Yeah. Mr. Reese? That guy.
Sorry, I'm taking notes at the same time.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see. This week I have been, well, I kept the release. Also still been working on some of the Helm 3 stuff. Brian paired with me a little bit yesterday, and I was getting a little too close to some of the stuff, and gave me some fresh eyes, and I was able to work through some stuff that I was hung up on. So thank you, Brian. I'll have to show you what I came up with later today. In addition to that, I've been working on adding Kubernetes 1.11 support into Helm. Now, we normally do that when we do a minor release, but this 1.11 is so different from 1.10 that we weren't able to get that in. So I have it as a discussion item for today. A lot of the people that are going to care about this aren't here. So I'll just run through like some of the issues that I've been up against at the end once we're through stand-ups. Brian, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah. Yesterday, I just was pairing with Adam on some Helm refactor stuff. It's basically all I've been doing for Helm. Josh, do you want to
go? Sure. I got nothing this week. So. Still, you know, as soon as we're ready for the move to the Helm org, I'll be all over it. Adnan?
Oh, sorry, I just joined. Yeah, I don't really have anything to report this week, I guess. Just wanted to, I'm late because I almost forgot this was happening. So yeah, I guess I'll just pass.
All right, I think I'm the last of the core maintainers to go. So for this last week, actually, I've been on vacation for the large majority since last week. I was gone Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I just came back yesterday. So I haven't done too much this week. This coming week, I'd like to test out RC1. And Justin, do you know the link to that issue in particular with CRD install?
Yeah, it's a newerly updated recently issue. I will paste it right now.
Okay, that would be very helpful, and then we could see if that's something that we need to test for the RC1 and see if we can verify that and either identify if it's a bug in both 291 and 210, or if it's something that was introduced in 210. Since I think it was a new feature that was in master. I don't think it's been a long time since we've done 2.9. So I think the CRD install stuff that Butcher did not make it into 2.9, or did it?
Oh, see, that's probably my problem. I'm probably the wrong version or something.
Yeah, I wasn't. It is going to be in the 2.10 release.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, so we should test and verify that it's in 2.10 and it works there intentionally. Because I think I also saw someone else also posted a CRD install thing, and I closed that issue because I was led to believe that I think the CRD install stuff wasn't until 2.10, so it was in the Canary release.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I'll paste it there. There you go.
Cool.
Y'all also test it.
Alrighty. Does anyone else outside of the core maintainers want to discuss about anything or want to give up any stand-up? Now's the time. All right. I'll take that answer from Barry and Steph as a no. All right. So we've got one thing on the discussion list from Adam, which is the Kubernetes 1.11 support. I know Farina is not here today, which I know you wanted to talk about that in particular with Farina. But should we still have that discussion right now?
Yeah, I can just give a quick update as far as where it's at and the kind of the blockers I'm up against, just so everybody's aware. Like I said before, there's quite a few breaking changes to the Go APIs between 1.10 and 1.11. Another big issue I just ran across after the release is I noticed that Kubernetes is no longer checking in to version control generated Go files. So if you include it using like glide or dep, you do not get all the Go files for a release, and it's essentially a broken checkout. So you have to run make generated files every time you check out Kubernetes to generate this Go bin data package that Kubernetes itself depends on. So what they've done is they've added it as part of their build step where it automatically generates all their files. So that would be the equivalent of us like not checking in our gRPC generated files.
So basically,
I'll let that one switch around for a while. So there's a few options. In order to generate the packages that must be generated, even just to have a working code set, it checks for specific dependencies in your Go path as well as nested vendor dependencies. So when we do a glide up or a glide install right now, we clean up all the nested vendor directories because otherwise you have import issues and type conflicts. So one option would be to, when we do run glide install, to have it not clean vendor directories. We manually go into Kubernetes, run make, which is a pain because then we have to include all the dependencies that are required to build Kubernetes in the first place, in addition to the dependencies that we have just to build Helm. And then we have to go through and manually clean up all the nested vendor directories for the entire vendor tree. And I think that might get us there, but it's just going to be a huge, ugly hack. So that's why I wanted Farina on this, to see if he's aware of anything that we can push to get that, or who we can talk to about that. Because there aren't very many issues in the Kubernetes yet about it. So I don't know if other people are running into this as well yet. Also, the factory builder pattern that we depend on, which is what glues all the different pieces together so we can kind of operate the same as kube control. That completely got changed. And a lot of the dependencies that we imported before are now private and have changed. So I did a wrapper object, and it ended up adding like a couple, almost like 1,000 lines of code just to get this thing to work as it did before, which is not ideal. In addition, the client-side Reaper has been removed from 1.11, so I need to go through and check to see what version Kubernetes started supporting server-side garbage collection for, like, if you delete a deployment, making sure that the all the pods get deleted for that deployment as well, because we might run into issues with our backwards compatibility with that, and so we might have to implement our own client-side Reaper for that. Those are the three main things. So two other kind of extreme options that we have are, one would be to say Helm 2 supports Kubernetes 1.10, and Helm 3 will support 1.11, because a lot of the like package cube and printer stuff is going to have to be rewritten, so we might run into backwards compatibility issues anyway. So that's one option. The other option is to fork Kubernetes. And copy, we don't have to do a full fork, but we could copy a lot of the packages directly from Kubernetes into Helm. That way we can modify stuff back to the way it was and still have 1.11 support, but still maintain our Semper contract. So that's the bad news.
So the alternative, as in like forking Kubernetes, that's basically forking Kubernetes to the Helm repository, and compiling all of the generated Go files that were previously not there. Would that be half decent?
No, I say fork, but I mean more just like packages under like package, kube control, options, resource, like copy that entire package just as it is into Helm. That way we can modify stuff back to make it correctly backwards compatible. And that way we don't have to maintain a full fork. And the reason why I'm kind of okay with doing it that way is because we're right on the edge of, you know, doing a major release again, where we won't have to maintain a fork, where Helm 2 is going to hopefully go into maintenance mode soon. And, you know, like we're not going to do these version bumps for Helm 2 anymore. And then we can just do Helm 3 correct, rather than get completely derailed on this and have to rewrite pretty much the entire interface between Helm and Kubernetes for Helm 2 when it's on its way out the door anyway.
Right.
So I just kind of wanted to present the problem. You know, like we don't have to talk any solution right now. You know, there's quite a few other people that are going to want to hear this and think about it, and there might be another solution that we can work with Kubernetes to get this resolved a little bit. At least for the generated stuff, we can get that hopefully checked back in. But anyways, I cut you off, Matt. What were you going to say?
I was going to say we should probably table this discussion at least until we can figure out. I'm not sure who or what SIG would be the best to raise these kind
Yeah,
of.
that's why I was hoping Farina was going to be on because he would know.
Right.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm still kind of poking around at it, and I've started doing a little write-up of the high-level issues, and I'm going to create a meta ticket for it so we can track it in Helm, and then I can link to like the pull requests in Kubernetes where it got get ignored, the generated stuff, so we can start tracking stuff back and forth between Kubernetes and Helm. It's not API machinery because it's more like build infrastructure stuff for the generated stuff code. So I'm not.
Okay. I thought they own code generation, but I'm not sure.
Well, no, this is like Go bin data that it's like embedded resources in Kubernetes. So it's not like generating API code.
Okay.
Which is why I'm not sure who to talk to about it. It could be like release.
Maybe architecture, because that's usually a good one if
okay.
You're not sure where. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna poke Farina.
And there's actually a SIG architecture office hour at 11 a.m. PST today.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess Matt Farina probably knows, so you can ping him as well.
Right. So I mean, today at least I just wanted to present the status and my findings of it, and I'm just gonna do a quick meta issue on it so we can start tracking it, just so everybody's aware of where the state is. And I haven't talked to anybody at Kubernetes yet, so it might not be as bad as I was screaming at my computer last night.
A little screaming here and there never hurts.
Yeah, some rage coding. That was all.
Okay. Are there any other discussion points that anyone wants to bring up, or shall we jump into the assignments for the week? All right, I'll take silence as a no. So who wants to take issue Sherpa for this week?
I could do some more. No one else wants to take it.
All right. Thank you, Justin. I would be happy to do notes the next week. Does anyone want to do moderating for the next week for the meeting?
Okay.
Okay. And then hopefully next week, I think everyone should be back and ready and available, or at least a lot more people, so we can share that. Sorry, what was that, Justin?
It's July 4th. I don't know if anyone.
Oh yeah, actually, we should cancel for next week.
Probably. Was it an American holiday?
Yeah.
Okay.
The American holiday.
Yeah, come on.
Are people off on the 5th?
You can't hear it from up there?
I think I just have like the Wednesday off personally, but I'm
yeah,
sure
I have Wednesday off too.
Keep bridging the weekend there.
Yeah, I thought it was just the Wednesday as well. But I guess there'll probably be a good amount of people who end up taking the rest of the week or something off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It's Wednesday, so we could still do it probably. Or how many people are going to be here? Also be here.
I should be here.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to cancel next week, I don't think. We can still do it.
I'm not sure. God willing, I will not be working.
Well, if Justin doesn't show up, I'm just gonna leave. But...
All right, I'll stop the recording, and thanks everyone for coming along.